Hello everyone, it's Megan. So I've come up with a list of subjects that I'd like to cover in videos, this video, future videos, etc. And I'd like to get your opinion on what you'd like me to cover. Would you like me to do some how-to videos, how to make a recipe, how to do simple tasks around the house? Maybe I can do a couple of recipes and bring you along with me while I cook. Would you be interested in me doing movie reviews and possibly taking some suggestions on what to check out so that I can review them? Are you interested in hearing what's good music-wise and what I have on my playlist? What about apps that I enjoy using? Like Hulu, Netflix, Heyday, what have you. Or maybe you want to suggest some apps to me that might work on any of my devices. I have an iPhone, I have a tablet, I have a PC, and I have an Android phone. So if you can think of an app that you think I should try that would go on any of those devices, or maybe even all the devices, just suggest it to me. Also, I'd love to hear about a latest concert that you might have went to, or a cool product that you see and you want to know if it works. I can come up with a list of maybe a dozen different products, and I could maybe do a spot once a week or twice a week where I try something out and give you my opinion on it. That's an idea. I can do a segment where I play around with makeup or hairstyles. I'm not very good with it, but I could learn. I could take suggestions. I could take you with me and go shoot some stuff outside and get some exterior shots maybe of my house or of the neighborhood I live in, or the people that I associate with, or maybe the places I like to go. I could take some suggestions on inexpensive weekend getaways or places that are good to go on vacation. I could probably share some stories of some past vacations I've had, or maybe suggest some places for you to check out if you're thinking of traveling. Maybe I could do a segment on my fears and what really scares me and what scares me in life, maybe my goals or my aspirations. I can cover a wide array of subjects. I need some feedback on what you'd like to hear me talk about. I could show you some pictures of places I'd like to go, or tell you about, situations in my life that I've been in and how I dealt with them. We can talk about serious matters. We can talk about funny stuff. If you have a funny joke that's not inappropriate that you'd like me to possibly read, I could do that. I'm open to suggestions and ideas. I have been researching today and catching up on some of my shows that I like to watch on Hulu, and I'm really excited that next month they're going to be putting Orange is the New Black Season 3 on Netflix. So I believe I was told it comes out on June the 12th. So probably by the end of that weekend, or possibly the next weekend, I'll have watched the entire season. I'd be binge watching it, because that's, once you get into a program and something good happens and you just can't stop watching it, that's when you know the show's good, and that's when you know that it was written to be watched that way, because if it wasn't meant to be that way, they would put it on there one episode at a time and make you space it out. Up until this past season, whenever I wanted to watch The Walking Dead, I had to wait for the entire season to go on Netflix, but this past season I found a couple of websites that let me watch it virtually the same night it came on or the next day, and it was interesting to me because I got to keep up when everybody talks about it, and some of the subject matter got a little monotonous, and there was other times when it was really good, and you were sitting on the edge of your seat wondering, are they going to make it to wherever they're trying to travel to, or are they going to lose somebody along the way, and how is it going to happen? And I'm not familiar with the comic books, so if I were to read the comic books, I would be mad because they probably go against them for the TV show. Let's see. Grey's Anatomy is a good show to watch. Binge watching that is pretty good, although that seems to take a while, and it's an emotional roller coaster, so I wouldn't suggest, deciding you want to watch something like that and watch like 12 or 13 episodes in a row, or I don't know. I'm just trying to think of things that you guys might like to watch or might like to do. I would like to try possibly changing scenery from when I shoot some of these videos. I've mostly been doing them in my living room, and the lighting gets a little monotonous and washed out, and maybe I'll, capture a couple videos in the near future, either on the porch or outside. Alright, so the other night, I was outside with Jamie, and we were grilling out some steaks, and I was sitting in a chair in the yard, and the steaks were on the grill, and they were cooking, and he had his back to me, and I kept hearing this sound next to me, and I thought, maybe it was a squirrel, because we have a lot of squirrels that come in and out of our yard, and I looked over, and it was this little fledgling of a bird, which I didn't know that was even a thing, fledgling. There's two different kinds of little birds. It's not talking about the species, it's talking about, I guess, the stages in its growth or development. You have the nestlings, the ones that don't have the fur and the feathers and stuff, and you have the fledglings who are developed, they're almost at the adult level, but they're still like considered a baby, and they have more feathers and a stronger breastbone. Well, I looked down and saw it, and we have an air conditioner unit right next to my porch, or right next to the side of the house, and it was getting stuck up under there. So Jamie, he had some gloves on his hands, and he got the little fledgling out. Well, he got it to calm down, and we didn't know that you shouldn't pick them up when they're like that. I thought it had fallen out of the nest that was up on the, I guess you'd say like the second or third story on the building, because I live in a house, and it's tall enough to be a third story where the nest is. So I thought it had fallen out of there. Well, it turns out that, I guess, that's just part of their development. It's part of the circle of life, and they, get kicked out of the nest, and they survive on the ground, and then they learn to fly. Well, I didn't know that. So I called animal control, and actually I called the non-emergency police department, and they called animal control, and animal control called me. Well, we were told to try to put it back close to where we found it. But the problem was the area where it was at was not safe, so we moved it to an area that was, in a little bit of brush, and it wasn't out in the open. Well, the next day I come down the stairs, because we live on the second floor, and where we put it the night before, it was still there. An animal had gotten to it, and it didn't make it, and it made me sad. And for several days, even thinking about it now, I get sad, because the thing was, defenseless and helpless. At least that's what we thought. And I think that had we not have messed with it, that bird would still be alive. And I don't know, it makes me sad, but I know it's the circle of life. I know that, you know, that's the way that they work, and that's the way that nature made it, and that's the way, you know, God intended for it to be. It's just sad when you know, kind of get attached to something and then it doesn't make it. Okay. That was, you know, that was a sad thing that I just spoke about, and, you know, I don't know if anybody out there knows much about, you know, birds and stuff that want to share similar stories or whatnot. If you're interested in me possibly doing some videos where we show you how to grill on a charcoal barbecue grill, it would be something that I would learn how to do, because I don't know how to do that. And I would learn how to go from, you know, lighting it to making sure that the charcoals get ashy brown or ashy gray, that's not brown, and, you know, cook on there. I've just never been comfortable working a barbecue grill. Now, an oven or a stove, yeah, I can do that, no problem. It's just, that's out of my comfort zone. But if you'd like to see a video on me learning how to do that, or, you know, showing you how to do that, I'd be more than happy to do that. Just let me know what you're interested in me talking about. Alright, I think that's it for a video for tonight. But like I said, if you have any suggestions or any ideas, you can send me a message either on Facebook or through here, or at meganshepard81@gmail.com. That's meganshepard81@gmail.com. Have a great night, everyone.